I walked into that interview room nervous but hopeful, armed with a resume I had built with sleepless nights, back-to-back freelance gigs, and a decade of clawing my way through startup chaos and contract work that didn't come with a safety net. And though I lacked the glittering corporate pedigree that others in the room probably boasted, I came in proud of what I had overcome, until he laughed, actually laughed out loud, in front of the entire interview panel, not even trying to hide his smirk as he leaned back in his leather chair, flipped my resume over like it was trash and said, "This is interesting. You went from working at a bakery to building ad campaigns? That's quite the journey." And I sat there, stunned but steady, biting down every ounce of fury as the rest of the panel shifted uncomfortably, no one checking him, no one challenging his arrogance as he dissected my life's work like a joke. But what none of them knew was that while I didn't have a flashy title or Fortune 500 background, I had the results, the numbers, the sheer hustle to outwork anyone in that room, and more importantly, I had the founder's attention. See what this important head of marketing, Richard Langston, didn't realize was that the CEO himself had reached out to me privately 2 weeks before, asking me to apply under a pseudonym. He wanted to shake up the team, bring in someone who knew how to build, not just manage, and he wanted to see how far I'd make it without privilege or favoritism. And Richard, with his pedigree and overpriced confidence, had no clue he was being watched, evaluated, not just me but him too. So I played my part, kept calm, while he mocked my self-taught certifications, while he quoted his Ivy League internships and high-fived one of the panelists as if the outcome had already been decided. And when he asked condescendingly, "What makes you think you belong here?" I answered with receipts, client portfolios, ROI graphs, screenshots from campaigns I had run solo with zero budget that still outperformed national brands. And as I spoke, the laughter died, the smirks faded, and the panel leaned in, genuinely intrigued because numbers don't lie. And for the first time, Richard's voice faltered, trying to poke holes in data he couldn't disprove, and that was when I knew I didn't need his approval. He needed mine, he just didn't know it yet. A week later, the CEO called me into his private office and offered me a position that bypassed Richard entirely, Senior Strategy Lead. A title that put me just 2 doors down from his office, and by the end of Q2, when my team had broken every target set before us, the CEO quietly expanded my role, folded Richard's responsibilities into mine, and restructured the department with polite phrasing that made it look like a lateral move for him, when really it was the beginning of his exit. I didn't gloat, didn't rub it in. I simply moved into his office when the corner glass room became vacant, placed my resume in a sleek black frame on the desk as a silent reminder, and got to work doing the job he was never humble enough to do right. So now, every time someone walks past my door and sees me where he once sat, they remember that arrogance has a short shelf life and results always rise. And Richard? He's a consultant now, desperately trying to claw relevance on LinkedIn while I approve budgets he used to fight for. And that resume he laughed at? It's now part of the company's onboarding presentation under the header, "Never judge talent by the paper."